If you're going to obsess about, I've got to know what everyone is doing and be on top of it all so we can get to this ideal of what is Camelot, I think for leaders, obviously the rulership style that is probably more manageable would be to figure out, who am I going to get that I can trust, that can help me with these things,
Right.
but then to be able to let go enough to allow them to work, and be looking out for, is there a Mordred amongst these people? But the work has to be about achieving the Camelot that will emerge, right? The Camelot will emerge when you get the right people together to work together, and you respond in the moment. But it's not that you're going towards this fictional ideal, which is through history. That's what we see so many times, I think, in these cycles that we're looking at. For example, like the English Civil War, right? You have this ideal, we're going to have this ideal Puritan republic where these things happen. Then it happens, it gets there, and it falls apart because it has to be too oppressive to keep it that way, or something always falls apart. So I think the trick, especially for the United States, with the way that we've been set up and the way the founders worried about how are we going to be able to keep a democracy, right? That whole Benjamin Franklin quote, it's a great system if you can keep it, right?
Right.
That what can always overcome us is maintaining the balance of power. I'm such a Libra. I'm sorry that
No,
it
I
always
like
comes
that
to
because-
balance for me.
Because like if you take the Arthurian story, Arthur's father, Uther, in the story, right? There was the movie that was just done like 9 years ago. That story also teaches that the way you get to your highest spiritual place, which Merlin had to do too. Really, Merlin and Lady of the Lake they're old lovers that have made it past beyond the realms. But you have to be a survivor, and you have to go into the harshest places. So you notice in spiritual circles and people, they go through their dark nights of the soul, whether it was young or old or whatever age, they go through it. They have the most power with their energy and magic because they've been through the shadow.
It's very much the alchemical story,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's about tempering not the sword, but tempering your soul, right?
Yeah, and I would say that you can't temper your soul until that soul's not been tempered. Meaning, like, I like RFK because he had to overcome his addictions, and he went into those realms.